Good afternoon, WANAQUE. Well, we made it to the end of the year, and definitely not in the way we thought we would, but we made it nonetheless. The last couple of months have been very challenging to say the least, but for me, the best part has been making music with you guys every day in private lessons, even though we can't put it together yet. We set our sights incredibly high, especially for a program in its second year, and unsurprising to me, we started out incredibly strong. We presented our first winter concert ever, we inducted our first Tri-M students, and we were working towards incredibly complex goals, including an amazing spring concert, and of course, our first real adjudication. Even though these plans fell through due to our current situation, I'm incredibly proud of the work you've all done, and I know that we were on track to meet and exceed everyone's expectations. We won't stop here. The plans we made will simply be delayed until a time when the band can kind of come together again. I will be working very closely with the new director to ensure that everything that we worked on this year and all the plans we made will be both present and, in some respects, even better than what we planned this year. As I said in my last video, I'm excited because I'm staying very close by. I'll be teaching those of you who sign up for the Tri-M lesson program next year and working hard to make sure we have some amazing shared concert experiences going into 2020 and, of course, 2021. First, though, we do have to wrap up this year, and that's what this video is primarily about. So let's start with Phantom. As of this time, the New York Broadway box office is still closed, and there's no one working from home there. Therefore, we can't receive our refunds yet. When the box office does open up, they will be sending us a check back right to the school to refund all the money that we put down for Phantom. At that time, the school will determine the best way to make sure that we get your money back into your hands as quickly as possible. As soon as that box office opens up, we will make sure to take that action. So we'll be working really hard to get that ball rolling as soon as we get word we can. So now in a moment, I'll detail out the instrument return process. But before we do that, there's going to be just one more assignment, and I would absolutely love if every single one of you could complete it. Please see my website and my Flipgrid for instructions on how I would love to end this year. But now onto the instrument returns. First things first, if you're borrowing either a personal instrument of mine or an instrument that is owned by the school, you'll need to make sure that that is returned to the band room on June 9th between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. I will be there curbside to pick them right up and get them into the band room, where they'll be sanitized, inspected, and prepared for next year. For those of you renting an instrument, you have a couple of options. Your first option, especially if you're going to continue to play, is to keep renting your instrument. There is a small monthly fee for this, so you're going to want to check your rental contract or call the rental company to figure out how much that is. But that'll keep that instrument in your students' hands all summer long, making sure they're ready for next year. You can, of course, also go and purchase that instrument. There's a significant discount if you purchase the instrument that you're currently renting, but you can often find better deals and greater price points elsewhere. So if you're interested in purchasing an instrument, please contact me. I'm here to help, and I'll try to get you to something that's going to work really well for you and in your budget. Lastly, if you'll be returning your instrument, there are a few steps you need to take. The first step is to call the rental company and let them know you're returning your instrument. If you're using the music shop, you could call the number right here, or whatever number is associated with the music store that you rented from. They will in turn give you a return number that needs to go on the outside of the instrument case. You'll then need to take that instrument and drop it off at the WANAQUE school between 11 and 1 p.m., 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. on June 9th. I will be there to pick your instruments up curbside, sanitize the cases, and get them into the band room. Later in the week, the music shop will come and pick them up, completing the return. Please, though, make sure you call the company and get those return numbers. This will ensure that you will not incur any charges or fees associated with a late return. It puts your account on hold until the instrument gets back, so it's the best way to handle that. For those of you continuing to play, though, keeping that rental instrument, as we said before, is the best choice. It'll allow you to keep your studies going through the summer. For those of you who are sure that you're going to play for a long time, though, your absolute best bet is purchasing an intermediate or professional model instrument as early in your playing career as possible. One of the main reasons you want to do this is the instrument itself will hold its value incredibly well, especially compared to a student level horn, and it'll make sure you have exactly what you need for as long as you decide to play. Intermediate and professional instruments hold their value for an incredibly long amount of time, sometimes actually gaining value. So it's a great choice. Any music store can provide you with an intermediate or professional instrument, but in most cases, a private deal will save you a ton of money. So if you're interested in this option, please reach out to me via email and I'll point you in the right direction, or I'll try to connect you with somebody selling a really great instrument for the lowest price possible. So this is all I have for you now, but there'll be a lot more news coming in a week or two, so please stand by. And in the meantime, please take a look at those Flipgrids so that we can get that last submission in. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you. If you have any questions, you all know how to reach me. I wish you the absolute best summer possible, and take care, WANAQUE. Have a great summer.